Well, there we go. Suppose I'm back into it again. Making about 3 billion fucking amulets. See, if I was real smart, which thankfully I'm not, I'd probably string them. I mean, it's a difference of like 20 cents in profit. So it's not too bad. But then I figure, given that the iron ore I'm gonna have to buy en masse, unless I want to sit there and fucking mine it, it's probably going to cost me 80 to 90 a piece. Losing out on 20 gold, that means every 4 I got to buy 1 less iron. So that's not so good. Now, I need smithing to get up to about 47, maybe 48, before I'll be able to do what I need to do. And so, we're just gonna kind of grind it out. See, I could also just go into the mine here at Falador. I'd probably save a little bit of time, but I don't think I'd make as much profit. And that's what we're really after, is the profit. I mean, sure, we could sit here and pretend like we want to get all the skills and level 99, but no. Personally, my goal, get 5 million coins, buy a fucking bond, and earn my membership in-game. That'd be cool. Of course, by the time you make 5 million fucking dollars, you've contributed so much to the economy, you damn sure deserve a little bit of fucking dipper dash, I would think. Really, I gotta train up some of these other skills, like, strength and whatnot. It's just a little garbage. But pretty much all the spells that I want I have. I mean, there's a few way further down the line that might be nice. But, I just don't think... I don't think that these teleports here, this one, and this one, and that one, I don't think I can go to any of those places. So it's probably not worth messing around with. I might be able to go to Apatol, I don't remember. I do know that I absolutely cannot enchant my own fucking jewelry, which is wonderful. It's just beautiful. I went through all this effort obtaining the damn jewelry, thinking, oh yeah, I'll enchant a few things, and that'll pretty much put me up to level. Nope. Not fucking good enough for this game. Gotta have a membership to do anything efficiently. Which is something I would think they would change over the course of fucking 20 years. Like, seriously. Why isn't this bank chest here is completely unusable if I'm not a member? Is there an actual reason? Or is it just because they're dicks? Good news is, in the process of doing this, I think I'm going to hit 55 mining, which will be enough for the mithril ore, which will be nice. I mean, we're so fucking close to the smithing thing. I've been pushing it in and out the calculator, and it just seems like it would be a very good thing to have a hold of. Oh, ow, my fucking neck. That felt nice, though. I mean, really, the best thing about this is that, if I decide I, bump into a random noob, or decide to get somebody who's not into it into the game, I can just give them like 1,000,000,000 free amulets, and they can make a lot of fucking free levels, just stringing them. And, you know, still make a pretty reasonable profit off of that on the side. Or I can just sell them en masse. I mean, that's probably what a smart person would do. I'm betting a smart person would. Oh, look. Another player. And he bets on whether or not they're a bot. Let's see, what is there down there for them to be botting? Oh, yeah, almost certainly. A fucking mine. But see, I bought some fashion. We bought a green cape and some gray gloves. It's too bad there aren't any fucking boots that don't look like absolute trash. That would have been nice. But nope, gray boots are forbidden. You know, unless you pay fucking $12 a month. Which, I mean, it's not unreasonable. I could probably afford it, and they probably deserve it for all the more entertainment I get out of it, but... I don't know. It wouldn't be so bad if their membership wasn't constantly in your face throughout the entire time that you're doing non-member things. You know, you're just, like, cutting down fucking trees. And then you bump into some random quest icon, or... you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a bunch of arrows from this wood, and you can't do that. Or your stamina bar running out every 6 seconds, because... this fucking skill is members only, because of course it is. Like, that right there, this one makes me more mad than all the rest of these. Even fletching. It's like, you know, most of this stuff is just kind of eh. But the fucking agility is essential. It's like, you know, unless you want to walk like a fucking tortoise half the time. But luckily, teleports kind of alleviate some of that. Now, if the math that I did was right, I should get about like 600. So I should be just a little short of 46 here. Like, just a little bit. Hello. So what, it's gonna stop us at like 200-ish experience there then. That's not bad. Bloop. Oof. And, I mean, the best thing about doing this is that I get to deposit more molds into my inventory. And so now, instead of having 1 or 2 amulet molds, I now have like 20. I think it's closer to like 15 and 20, but we still have a couple. And I should get, what, like 7 something, maybe 800 experience from every every load as well in crafting. Doop. Doop. Oh, 25, not 15. Wow. Storing up those big bones so that certain newbie friend of mine can get a couple of fast levels. And that way they can walk around the world without being, totally fucked all the time. And they won't have to sit there and grind for hours and hours. Because, like, the first few levels are always shit. Just a total shit show. So no need to stop running. We still have 25% run left. We'll stop running when we get to the fucking ore, or we don't have the ability to anymore. Okay, now we can stop. Yeah, so the runes I've got are about my estimate for how many loads I'm gonna have to do before I can stop and go do something else. Specifically, we're doing it like this. So that when we leave here and are no longer doing our crafting grinding, we can just go straight to the forging. And it is kind of awkward because I'm trying to decide whether I want to buy the ring of forging like 8 times. I think I could probably do 7, but I'm gonna do 8 for safety. And then like 800 to 900 iron ore. And then just mass produce iron there because it's definitely more efficient than steel. I mean, for 1, I can only make 9 bars of steel at a go. And for 2, freaking steel is like 140 per bar, which is retarded. It's just too much. And I know why the price is so high. It's because of the studded armor. We use steel to make the studs, and that's one of the things that really is nice if you decide you want to be a ranger. Oh, finally. I swear, sometimes the RNG on these things is just evil. Sometimes I imagine that I could make these unstrung amulets into like a pseudo-currency. So I'd be like, alright, I'll trade you for X amulets. But really, if I was going to do a pseudo-currency, I want it to be like the silver, or maybe tiaras or something. Just because, I like silver. It's nice. Good metal. Definitely better than gold. I mean, sure, it's not as conductive, but at least it looks good, Gold just kind of looks awful. It's got this, like, yellow, pissy color, and it's way too shiny for its own good. I mean, it's not, like, good for anything, it's just soft and conductive. Which theoretically would be nice, except that we have semi-solids that are better conductors in specific situations. And given the rarity of gold and the fact that people like to use it for ridiculous things, it's just not that great. You're better off getting like some kind of alloy with a bit of gold in it, maybe some rose gold or something. One thing that gold is good for, though, you can take gold and titanium, make it into a nice alloy. And that alloy is like wicked strong. Of course, it requires that you heat it up to 1,000,000,000 degrees to be able to forge it. But theoretically, gold titanium alloys would be one of those things you'd want to build a spacecraft or space marine armor out of, you know? Ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. So I played basketball for the first time in 100 years. That was fun. I lost, of course, a lot, by a significant amount. But hey, I'm like a blind guy. You know, that's my excuse. I can't see more than 3 feet in front of my face. But I swear, like, that feeling when you bounce it off of the rim, like, just a little to the left or just a little to the right, and you're just like, man, did I, like, need to shuffle my feet a little bit? Were my feet in the wrong position? Was my arm just off? Are my eyes crooked and I'm just seeing the hoop wrong from how it actually is? Well, those are way worse than when you totally whiff it, because when you totally whiff it, you're like, I've done something horribly wrong. You know, you just feel like you fucked it up. But when you do something that's just a little bit wrong, you're not so sure. Not so sure what your shortcomings are. I really should see about thinking. Let's see, so 65 times 10. 65 times 10 would be 650, which would turn into 1,300, right? And then plus the 4, which would be, what, another 240? So like 1,500-ish mining experience off of this. I think somewhere around 1,500 at least. And so that means that for this right here, I'm going to have to do 5 to 6 more loads. Which is, like, hopefully the next level makes this gold thing way more consistent, because every once in a while there's just one ore that seems to be bent on staying in that rock. And it doesn't feel good. And we can run again. Smelt all the gold in the universe. And then chill. See, that's another reason to do it this way. All this time that these bars are being made, you can go AFK for a bit. And then, of course, when you come back from your little AFK adventure, you can click and make the amulets, and then go AFK for about the same length of time. It's great. Oh, good. See, I can finally make skirts again, which is good. Making a couple steel skirts. Finish out some sets. I don't think I will, though. Like, steelsmithing just is kind of garbage. It's just not very good. You know, I'm kind of stuck on whether I would like a higher population server or not, because theoretically, being in a server with more people would be great, because there'd then be people to chat to or fuck with or whatever. But at the same time, they always cock block you for resources. Half of them don't say anything at all, ever. And you have to wonder for sure if they're, like, bots or actual people. And then every once in a while, especially if you're, playing as a girl, you get some fucking rando who just wants to act like a spaz. Like, the whole hey BB thing just makes me want to commit acts of violence, really. Because it's like, you don't fucking know me. Calling me BB when you don't, I fucking have a username. Oh, call me by that. Shorten it from that. Shit, you got like 3 choices here, right? You can say white. You can say APOC. But where the fuck is BB? Where do you get a B from white APOC? There's not a single fucking B in this entire name. In fact, it's basically you have every letter but B here. I don't get it. Yes, welcome to the Guild of Master Craftsmen. Look at how low my battery is. I hope that makes somebody feel nervous. Actually, I should check. 41%. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, it's low, but it's not deadly low. For fuck's sake. Well, we turn the sound on again. I usually have it off. How about artistry? Isn't this a random event fucking song? Man, if they ever, let people make mods or whatever for this fucking game, I'm totally going to have something place in all the trap remixes of this. Fucking MIDI soundtrack. And then there's 5 elf songs. Which, luckily I haven't had to see a single elf. Which is good, because they'd probably be high level and I'd still feel obligated to, slaughter them in their thousands. I'm glad the face cam isn't on right now, because I'm a little too into this. It's not on because it kind of lags the fucking phone out. I guess the face cam is one thing more than it would like to do. And that's probably making somebody sick. Maybe I should have gone to a higher population world where I could troll somebody. But honestly, I'd probably just get harassed. Because that's the counter to trolling, is harassment. Nah, I'm just kidding. The only real way to counter a troll is to shoot him right in the face. Okay, that's enough of that one. Oh yeah, Evil Bob's Island. The Evil Bob event is still my favorite. Escape Rune and uncook the fish. I don't think I've heard this one before, or at least I haven't played it to death. There's just some that are, pretty obviously my favorites. You hear them way too much, and then every once in a while I'm scrolling through the list and I just find something I've never heard before. I wonder what 100% speedrun would look like, Just like, how the fuck would you go about max leveling each of your stats in the most effective manner possible? And of course, the only reason why I'd be interested in that is because, maybe you could apply some of those same techniques to your own adventure. There's the drop. Fucking coconut shells. Every song needs a couple coconuts banging together in it. Okay, this is our last one. Come on, what's going on? There we freaking go. Just as I'm about to give up and go switch to another ore. Come on, to Falador. We got work to do, bitch. You got 16 more loads of this gold to get before we're gonna be anywhere near where we need to be. I wonder if this is gonna, absolutely, when I start selling them or whatever, if this is just gonna destroy their price on the market. It'd be funny if, I sold it and then saw the next day when I go and examine the prices for things that its price dropped, even as much as 1 or 2 coins would be kind of nice, but, freaking 100 coins, they're just suddenly the least useful thing in the world. I think it's funny, though. As a non-member, all your equipment is pretty much centered around fucking warrior classes. So if you're a non-member and you want to train up your archery or something, there's just no point, because you're not going to have any freaking decent armor. You're not going to be able to get a hold of any bows, unless you want to cost yourself an arm and a leg. Can't even make your own freaking arrows. And then, wizardry, as much fun as it could be, there are 2 sets of armor. I mean, technically it's 3, but if you think that there's a difference between a black robe and a blue robe, you're just a moron. It's a palette swap, okay? Which, it kind of amazes me that there aren't more just, palette swapped versions of items. You would think that they would have a freaking pair of boots for every color of the rainbow. Shoot, you'd think they'd let you go so far as to type in your own RGB hex code if you wanted to for your freaking pair of boots. But instead, your choices are brown or rainbow. Yeah, we're not going that way. Okay, those are ashes. Whenever I see a red dot on the map, I just kind of check it. Let's try Evil Bob's Island. Yeah. Yep. Doof, da, doo, da, doof, down, doof, dang, doop, dee. Oh yeah, just one more reason to be glad to have the face cam off. Wouldn't want anybody seeing me, digging in my nose for gold while my character digs for gold in the crafting guild. Let's look at this. Let's see if there's one that we've, Oh. Is this the one I think it is? Let's see. One of the fanfares I used to really like when I was 11. I think it was fanfare 2 or 3 or something. Yeah, I think it must have been the other one. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Just for the next time we run into a random person. What I love is there's about a 50-50 shot now when I type the word white that it misinterprets it as the word shite, which is just great. So every once in a while, instead of, just making my text white with a colon, it's just shite with a colon. And the freaking way this text editor works, I can't click on the W and change it to an S, or S and change it to a W. I gotta delete the whole thing and type it over again. Yo. Okay. Frogland. That's probably from me murdering a million frogs. Okay, we'll close that. Finally. Sometimes it's just one rock takes as long as all the rest of them. Sounds like the washer's winding down. It does, it does. Oh, yep, before I fill up my bag. Of course I am here. What, do you actually think I'm a bot, jackass? And that's right, all the prayer. Because prayer is a pain in the ass. And like, think about it, that's 300-ish. And so that's about equivalent to me burying 20 big bones. So that would be 20 combat encounters with a level 13 thing. By which time I'd probably have to stop and heal at least once. You know, since usually when I'm grinding the frogs, I take the rat meat that's nearby rather than going fishing or something for slightly more efficient food. And so, you know, that makes it into a pretty lengthy encounter. I think the freaking washer's gonna get done here soon, so I'm gonna go look at that. But that's okay, you keep an eye on how many bars are being smelted here. This could be really important. Oh shit, she's still not done with the gold. And here I am wondering how long you've been watching nothing. Oh, here we go. Here's a rando. Well, let's make sure they're not like level 3 or something, though. Yeah, okay, there's no point. I mean, because there's two ways it could go. They could either be a pure, in which case, you know, they're just kind of working on them last few levels and not really paying much attention anyways. Or they're a bot who exists exclusively to chop this one tree. And I would think if you were a real person, like when your oak logs weren't coming, you would stop and just cut this tree over here. Because even at like level 10, you'll chop down that one tree in like 2 whacks and then the oak will respawn. But nope. And then we've got all these freaking randos who go into the mines. They're the freaking reason why it's so impossible to get a hold of iron ore normally. Which is ridiculous given that, you know, you would think with every single freaking block of iron having 2 or 3 different bots on it, you'd think the price of iron ore would be super, super deflated. But somehow it's still crazy expensive. Man, I remember when I was like 11 and first started this, I just kind of sold my ores. It didn't like occur to me to do smithing. And then when I did decide I wanted to do smithing, I thought that I had to kill dwarves for it, because, you know, I'd just forgotten about mining. And so I sat there and murdered dwarves in the mine right here for ages. No, it wasn't the mine, it's, we'll look at the map. Ah, see, there's something that the fucking face cam was good for. I could circle things with it. Right here, Ice Mountain. It's nice, there's a bunch of dwarves there. There's some black guards if you decide you want to fight something a little stronger. And they drop bars of iron and bronze, I think. Okay. I probably should have just put the genie's thing into smithing so that I could get to my next thing a little faster, but I think saving myself 20 big bones is pretty good. If it would let me put it into non-member skills, you know, I'd probably throw it into agility. But unfortunately, they don't let you do that. Plus, I mean, like, 300 smithing isn't much at all. It's like half this bag load of gold here, which obviously I've gotten a few of even as I'm doing this. Even just during this little bit of recording here. I'm getting a couple bags of it. I suppose it could be useful to put into, like, hit points or something. Because I don't think hit points are capped at 99. I wouldn't, like, quote myself on that, but I don't think they are. And yeah, combat level 40. Just wanted to be sure. You know, I want to appear to be just a little bit intimidating and very obviously not a bot. Because that's the real danger, you know, you freaking... If you're level like 4 or 5 in the crafting guild or whatever, and some rando happens to walk by, he's just gonna assume you're a bot, immediately report you. Which is too bad, really, that's just how people are. But then, I also kind of get it, because, shit, I've been playing the fucking game for years all legitimately, and then you see some motherfucker who's just been running his bot overnight, and did what took you months in, like, 2 days. And you know, it feels bad. It feels bad, man. It feels like cheering for the Cleveland Browns, alright? Which I should probably say is, you know, definitely my team, and not just because I don't like football and therefore don't watch it. Because, I mean, I figure if I've got to have, you know, a team, it might as well be one that's not very good. You know, like, that makes sense to me, at least. You know, if you don't like football, your football team should be kind of bad so that people will know that your knowledge and experience with it is pretty bad. You know, just right off the hand, like, how could anybody who likes football like that team, you know? They either assume it's because of fanatical loyalty, which is nice. It's always nice when they assume that it's because of that, because that makes you just seem like a decent person, I guess. or because you're just too stupid to realize how much they suck. Whereas personally, I guess I have enough football knowledge to play Madden and win. Not every time, but, like a couple times, every once in a while. Now, there's like this massive scorpion in the mines down there. I think I'd have to be like level 60 or 70 in order to make the damn thing leave me alone. Oh well, with this ore, we're gonna smelt, and then while it's smelting, I'm gonna fold some laundry. Because I'm a responsible adult. And definitely not just pretending to be one for the purposes of, seeming like I have things to do. Oh, see? My timing's not terrible. Boop. More amulets.
What was that?
Oh, shit. I guess I gained a level. Ugh. Oh, wait. Does it seem to be a rando? Yeah, I don't care. This song's kind of Diablo-esque. Like, it kind of reminds me of Diablo. Like the town theme. We should take a look at how many amulets we have next time. Don't let me forget. Really, maybe I should just keep doing this until I hit level 60 mining so I can go into the mining guild. Instead of having to deal with scorpions, but at the same time, I just don't think that I want to spend any extra freaking time in here after I've done 14 more loads. I mean, come on. It's nice how empty this is. You know, it's not too bad if somebody else is mining it, because most of the time they like just hit the level where they can mine gold, and so it takes them forever. When really you want like 5 or so levels beyond what it takes to initially mine it before it's really going to be worth your time. I mean, really, when I start mining mithril, it's just going to be for the novelty. I'll probably do it south of Draenor, just because it's kind of right next to my big frogs with their big bones. Yep, there's that level. So that's not so bad. You guys have seen, what, 2 mining levels? Just off of this little bit of gold here. It's not bad. And in case anybody's wondering why amulets, it's because if we view the crafting guide, we can look at jewelry, and we can see that amulets are level 8, whereas all the rest of the gold stuff is a little lower. And other than that, I would have to gather silver or something, which would give me so much less smithing, so it's not really worth it. I think I do get more crafting from tiaras, but I mean, I only wanted to get crafting up so that I could sell the unfired clay pots, and so that I could get into the guild for the gold. Which is nice, this gold's almost never contested. You can almost always come in here and get a hold of some gold or silver. You know, maybe it won't be completely uncontested like it is right now, but usually it's just one guy. And that one guy takes about as long to mine 3 as it should for you to mine the 4 up there. I mean, that's what I do. You know, if there's somebody else, I try to give them a little bit of space. So I kind of like go do the things that are a little further from them or more walking. So that they can have these real short paths to click on while they take 3.5 years to mine 2 ore. But that's just me being nice. I think technically I could do the whole mine bullying thing. Which, I think they actually have like a special name for it. Like RuneScape people call it something different, but I like to think of it as mine bullying. Because, you know, you're just pushing somebody who's weaker than you around. Just because you can, really. Because at the level where you're just completely destroying their ability to mine something, just grabbing everything in the little area, you know, you probably should be mining something fucking else. This next mining level does not seem to have made the gold more consistently come faster. Which sucks. Okay, let's hear what Frogland sounds like. This must be another random event song. Oh, this is much better. Much more chill. Mm-hmm. Is it like an unwritten law that the last fucking ore in your bag has to take forever? Okay, 1, 2... Okay, there we fucking go. I was gonna count to 5 and then leave. Although I was counting the individual ticks onto the rock there. Okay. Oh yes, this guy's coming back just in time. Not only that, but this guy's wearing weird random shit that makes him technically less efficient, so... It's slightly less likely that they're a bot. Nope. But seriously though, if you're gonna walk back and forth to the bank, Edgeville is so much more efficient than this. Like, the bank in Edgeville compared to the forge is like where that fucking corner of this building is comparatively. Like, we'll go to the bank over that way. And on the way I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean. You know, just some advice if you're gonna fucking get into smithing or whatever. So, look at this. Where is it? Right here. There's the bank, there's the forge. I'm gonna look over here, here's the bank, here's the forge. So like here, they're just across the road in Edgeville. So Edgeville is crazy efficient. It's not in a great spot for a lot of other things, but you can get your forging done there, and I haven't like tested it, but the water source there is pretty close to the bank as well if you want to fill up the 743 jugs that you've somehow obtained. 581. So, I mean, basically, I should expect after the end of this to come up to about 100,000. Which isn't terrible. 100,000 is about the amount of gold that I had before I spent it all investing in random things like, you know, a gray pair of gloves and a green cloak. Which, you know, yeah, they don't really do anything special compared to the other ones, but damn it, if you're gonna play as a girl, you might as well. You might as well get to, you know, pretty princess dress up a little bit. You know, just a little. Okay. Oh, good, you did get it. You got it just in time for me to give up. So pretty much it will take me 10 loads of ore to get this thing. So about the same time that I'm run out of teleports, I mean, in my bag, I think I still have a couple hundred of water or law runes and whatnot. At least I bought at least 100 of them. Specifically for stuff like this and teleporting to Varric. And we're not gonna get any levels in either one of these anytime soon. I'm actually surprised how high my fire making is. I must have just zoned out one of these nights when I woke up at 3 a.m. and freaking burnt all my logs, because it's not something that I typically level up beyond the ability to get oak. Right now, I can almost burn willow. Holy shit. Does looking at the guide not interrupt my mining? Fuck. Because if it doesn't interrupt my mining, this might be a good time to take a look at some things. Theoretically, I can get a hold of maple logs now. I think maybe I'm right on the edge of it. But why the fuck do I want logs? Like, I guess maybe if I get the bond, get to that level of money, buy a bond and have membership, then I might want logs. And so it might be worthwhile, like, sort of pre-grind, figure out the amount of regular logs I would need before I'd be able to fletch oak logs, get exactly that amount of logs cut, and then cut the exact amount of oak logs I would need to get myself up to the level of being able to work with willow and so on and so forth. And that could be worthwhile. But then, like, I'm pretty sure if I did do the fucking membership thing, even for a little bit, I'd want to really focus on, like, agility and thieving and stuff. It's too bad I can't transfer anything whatsoever over to my Iron Man account, because what I really kind of wanted to do is make the millions on this account and then transfer the membership over to the Iron Man so that my Iron Man can actually grind without making me want to die a horrible death. Oh well, it's alright. Fucking Savior White the Iron Woman. She's not going anywhere. In fact, by the time any of my home dogs ever log into this freaking game again, she'll probably be closer to their level than this character, so might be a good idea for me to do my epic trolling, with a squad with that character instead of this one. Let's look. Okay, 30. Now we're starting to get to the territory where I feel like my battery should be charged a little bit. Ow. When you drink a soda and some of the bubbles, like, kind of force their way up their nose, like they change the pressurization. That's not fun. It only happens to me when it's like a fairly flat soda, so I'm not like drinking it cautiously. But there still turns out to be exactly enough fizz to do that to you once or twice. Stand on this side of the rock. Save ourselves time in a minute. Sometimes I have to wonder, like, why the pathing brings you to a specific place over another one. Like, why do you want to put me here instead of here? Oh, can I demonstrate? Can you see this thing circling around? No, it looks like it's walked into my bag. That's too bad. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this mobile thing. Wish I'd have gotten into it a little earlier, but having this on mobile is really good. Like shit, all they need to do is get TF2 on mobile, and then finally the only reason I'll have my computer is so that I can stream instead of record. Not that I've played Team Fortress 2 in 100 years, but in fact, I think it's been almost exactly the same amount of time since the last time I played basketball. I mean, except for real recently, as it has since I've played TF2. Yeah, like exactly the same time as the last time I played basketball was the same time as the last time I played TF2. I don't think my friggin' current computer can stream it anyways. I have to become a multi-millionaire so I can afford to buy rigs that actually do what I want. Can we teleport, thank you? Fucking Ronald Rando still running back and forth. I mean, I'm not gonna tell him he didn't say anything to my random fucking comment at all. Not even like the question mark or the raised eyebrow thing. Fine, I'll tell him. Yeah, whatever. They're just botting out. Oh, Christ. Now what?